ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. As always, I am Jesse Hughes. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe while you're visiting by. As you can see, not in the same location. I am now in my dorm room at Liberty University. I've moved back, which is why my voice might sound a little hoarse. Move-in was nuts, but it was all fun. You're probably gonna see this room a lot. I am gonna be here for a while, and if you don't like this room, get over it, but it's okay. I thought about doing a room tour originally, but I thought that just took too much time out of the video, so if that's something you want to see, like just a little mini montage of my stuff, drop a comment. If not, then cool. But yeah, so the topic of today's video is a little bit different than my usual content. Usually I'm talking about a topic or like some actual political issue or something going on in the news, but instead I'm going to kind of redirect focus to a question I get asked quite often, which is, Jesse, how in the world do you stay so positive in this complete nightmare of a world that we live in? Well, my friends, the answer is cocaine. Well, my friends, the answer is, I just try to keep a positive attitude about everything around me. And with my newest program, for just $10.99 a month, in 10 easy steps, you can keep a positive attitude too.
Hi, Billy Mays here for
Keeping a positive attitude about the world around you is really kind of simple in the long term, and when you apply it correctly, can actually be a pretty reasonable political strategy. Having fun is a political strategy now. It's crazy. And the reason of that is just when you look at the contrast between the two worldviews of the right versus the left, the biggest thing you'll see is that right-wing policies are tend to be more family-oriented, community-oriented, and they respect the individual as an individual while also kind of emphasizing this idea of unity and family and community that keeps one's nation great. You have this whole kind of colossal scope. It encompasses this idea of just, there's a holistic unit that as an individual within society is your duty and responsibility to kind of help that unit thrive. And part of that is just keeping a positive attitude and learning to be content in whatever circumstance you're in. The biggest thing that you see on the left is that a lot of their policies are aimed towards perceived ills that they see in society, some of which might be a little bit legitimate, but the most of which they kind of take to very drastic extremes, and because of that, their entire ideology is built off of just suffering. Look at the general attitude of a left-winger versus the general attitude of a right-winger. The difference is astronomical. The left tends to be more just miserable, straight up miserable, because their entire ideology is revolved around this idea that the world is so fundamentally and holistically flawed that we need to try everything that we can do to fix it, but at the same time there's nothing that we can do to fix it and that we're all doomed. If you are someone that holds to that kind of an ideology and you have not yet jumped off a building, that is seriously some mental fortitude. But the unfortunate thing is that because the left is always just down and out and downing everything, the unfortunate thing is that the left also controls the majority of institutions, including entertainment and news media within our present day society. And so all you have is this 24-hour news cycle of just tragedy after horrible story after horrible event after this bad thing happened and that bad thing happened, and unity or hatred, division, disunity, sadness, depression, just cyclical over and over and over again. And some people, they're a little more into conspiratorial realms. I don't tend to go that far, but some people will even argue that they put things within our food and our drinking water. And
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Stuff that makes us more depressed, and they pump us up with drugs that make us more depressed. And in a way, that is in a way sort of correct. You have this whole entire age in this entire generation of people that have been brought up believing that they all have anxiety, and some of them actually do seriously have anxiety, but when you bring up an entire generation in such a way that they all think that they have anxiety, and you just pump drugs into their system 24/7, some drugs that are proven and tested and do work, but other drugs that just have all this entire list of enormous side effects that just keep them down and out all the time, and then all of this stuff combined, and then you just look around, and the average person is not a happy camper, to put it bluntly, to say the least. The average person is not having a great time with all this stuff going on. But the fortunate thing is that there is a way to get past all of this stuff, and I to be honest with you, I don't really have like some kind of like huge big secret, like there's no like 10-step program, there's no top 5 ways to get happier in life, none of this stuff. All I can offer you is just some practical advice that works for me, that helps me maintain a positive attitude. The number one thing that helps me just maintain this positivity, that, you know, everything's gonna be alright, is that if you're a Christian, the Bible literally says that in the end everything is going to be alright, alright? All things work together for the glory of those that love God and are called according to his purpose. And for some of you, that might look different than what it might look like for your neighbor next door. For all things working together for the glory of God in your life might be that you have a $7 million home and the dream family that everybody wants. And for others of you, all things working together for the glory of those that love God and are called according to his purpose might look like you die. But it's okay, because in the end, everything works out. Because whether you live or die, it is okay. Because to live is Christ and to die is gain. And we recognize that there is value in life, and that life is to be lived and lived abundantly. Even Jesus said that you were to live, you know, tomorrow is not guaranteed, and that the past is dead and gone, and you are to live in the moment, and that the only thing that matters is the here and now. And that does not mean that you do not have an eternal mindset. You still need to have your mind set toward heaven. Your eyes are still to be set on the things that are above. But when living in this world and of this world, the only moment we have is now, that is guaranteed, because in 10 seconds I could just stop breathing, and it would be the will of God, and it would be perfect and pleasing. And just recognizing that no matter what life circumstances thrown your way, that is most likely the will of God that this thing is happening in your life. It helps you keep a positive mindset. And that's just on a personal level. On a societal level, when you look at all these things that are going on and how society just seems to be going deeper and deeper down into crazy mode every day, with all of these new things that are happening and everything, that most people just get super depressed when they see the things that are going on. But you gotta remember, in the end, we still win. Like, no matter what, the Bible's ending is clear. The Bible's ending is very clear. In the end, Jesus wins, and all of his people are just it's literally living happily ever after forever. That is literally the end of the Bible. We are all going to be living happily ever after forever in heaven with him eternally, no matter what. And that is a very good thing. And the thing is, Satan knows that as well, because Satan knows the Bible better than you and I do, and Satan knows in the end he loses. And so his aim right now is to keep us all down and out no matter what, so that he can, during this present moment, still have a little bit of control in our lives. But he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose. Lucy is going to lose. No matter what, he is going to be thrown in the lake of fire. Now, whether that happens next week or in the next 10,000 years, we don't know that, but it's going to happen. And he doesn't know when it's going to happen either. So he honestly probably has more anxiety and depression than all of us combined. And it's kind of that case of the person that just has all of these problems but projects them onto other people, because if they're miserable, you have to be miserable as well. That's literally what Satan is doing, because he knows he's going to lose, but he doesn't know when. But luckily, we know we're going to win. We don't know when, but we know it's going to happen, and that should give us hope for the future. That's one thing that keeps me positive. Another thing that keeps me positive is I don't live within the 24-hour news cycle 24 hours a day. And thankfully, neither do most Americans. The average American only engages with politics and news for about 5 minutes a week. 5 minutes a week. And I'm definitely not the average American. I am much more engaged in politics and news, and that's a reason why a lot of y'all find my content valuable, is at least that's what I've been told, is because I'm one of the main sources of news for a lot of people that follow this channel and follow my content, both here and on Instagram. Shout out to the Instagram, by the way, it's at JQ1776. Go give me a follow there if you haven't already. But, you know, a lot of times you just have this, you know, this picture of this person that's just looking at all this news and they're like, how can it get any worse? This just makes me sad. And I literally had a friend ask me yesterday, Jesse, how do you stay so happy despite knowing what's going on in the world right now? And the secret of it is that unfortunately I can't at this present moment really change much that's going on in the world. I wish I could do something to change what's going on in Afghanistan. I'm a 19-year-old college student that has 21 subscribers on a YouTube channel that I don't even know if it's going to last the rest of the year. What am I going to do to change the world? Like, in this present moment. And you could argue that what I'm doing right now is in and of itself maybe just a stepping stone at something that could change the world. And hopefully it is. I would love that if that is the case, but I also have to live in reality. And right now, reality is that I have little to no influence on anything that's going on right now whatsoever. And in a way, that's a good thing, because I don't have to worry about it. Now, that being said, I do have to worry about it in the sense that it's my job as a Christian to pray for and to weep with those who weep, and to suffer with those who are suffering in a spiritual sense, and to just, you know, be present and there for my brothers and sisters throughout whatever they're going through. Even if I'm not able to be there physically, I can be there in spirit. But I also have my own life and my own friends and my own interests and my own activities that are going on. So, you know, the people that complain about the 24-hour news cycle are the people that are stuck in the 24-hour news cycle 24 hours. Most of y'all don't have a life. You don't have anything to look forward to. You have nothing that gives your life meaning and value and purpose. And honestly, you need to find something that gives your life meaning and value and purpose, because that is the reason you're depressed. Especially if you're a man. Most men, the reason that they are depressed is because they have no purpose in life, or at least that's what they feel like. Men are intrinsically designed to have meaning and purpose and value, and to feel like they are meaningful, and to feel like they are doing something that is worth something. And so you need, whatever that is in your life, you need to find out what that is. You need to find that sense of purpose in your life. For me, it's A, Christianity, and B, just, you know, being the guy that's in my friend group that can make you laugh and also be the shoulder that you cry on, and just be, you know, having a friend group and having fun in life. You know, that is my purpose in life, is to A, know Jesus and make Jesus known, but also B, to just be there for my friends. Whether we're going to hike on a mountain for 2.5 hours, or whether somebody's down in the dumps and we're all just there crying and weeping with them. That is right now my purpose in life, at this very moment. Now, my purpose in life, grand scheme, probably a lot bigger than I'm hoping, at least probably a lot bigger than what I'm doing right now. But at the end of the day, no matter what I do, I still just want to also be that guy that my friends can just, I don't drink, so I can't say beer, but my friends can have a Coke with, but also that they can go and cry on my shoulder and tell me all their life problems if need be, and I'm the guy that can help them, just be there for them. And that helps me find purpose, is just being engaged in a group of friends that I'm doing something for. And find yourself a good group of friends that you can just all go goof off and have fun for hours and hours on end, and also that you are able to share all of your deepest, darkest secrets with, and that will help you find a lot of meaning and purpose and joy in life. That will help you find a lot of joy in this life. And a big thing about joy is not happiness. Happiness is a product of joy, but joy is not a product of happiness. You can have joy and not be happy. That's just very simple fact of life, is that you can be joyful in all situations, but not be happy in all situations, because joy is not dependent on happiness, and if it was, no one would be joyful. That's just the simple fact of life. But the secret is finding the way that you are able to be content and joyful in all situations, even if it's not a happy situation. And just another big thing is, like I said, just not living within the 24-hour news cycle, but also just like living life. Life is too short to not go do stupid and fun things. Last night I'm recording this on a Sunday night. Last night, I literally went up with a group of friends, and we went up to a place on campus, and there was just a massive dance party and mosh pit. And I did nothing for an hour but just jump up and down and become drenched in sweat and crowd surf and have fun. Because life's too short not to do those kinds of things. Like, I mean, listen, like, obviously it's important to do things that matter, to do schoolwork, to do your job, to do whatever you're doing in your life that you're supposed to be doing that matters. But it's also important to just have fun, because fun matters too. Having fun matters too. Hanging out with your friends matters too. Doing these things matters too. And so all of these things just kind of combine in my life to help me find joy and happiness, and just to be generally positive in all situations. Like, people think that because of the things that I do on the internet that I just live, breathe, sleep, and eat politics and depression all the time. I don't. That's not my life. My life is so much more than politics. I literally have a guitar. I literally play guitar. I play drums. I do all of these, so many of these things. I play worship. I love worship. I love music. I love metal. Metal is literally God's chosen music, and if you believe wrong, if you believe anything else, you can fight me. But literally all of these things. I like to skate. I like to do all this stuff. Life is more than politics, people. If your entire life revolves around politics and nothing else, you are living a sad existence, and you need to go find a hobby. Frankly, you just need to go find a hobby. You need to just walk outside and breathe for 5 minutes and do something other than just stay stuck in the news cycle. If you're depressed, that probably might be your quick fix, is just to unplug from news for 10 minutes and to just go outside and maybe lay in the grass and breathe. If you haven't seen grass in 15 years, you need to go outside. If you're watching this and you are the kind of person that you don't even know what the sun looks like anymore, you can't even tell me what color it is because you just live, eat, sleep, breathe, depression, news, politics all the time, you need a hobby. And you need to find something that gives your life purpose and meaning outside of this just realm of utter chaos and insanity that is the political system in the United States. Because at the end of the day, the news media breeds hatred and division because it makes money. But when you actually go outside and talk to people, and you talk to people that disagree with you politically, whether it be on the left or the right, most people are just decent people. They're just people. They're just wanting to live life and have fun and do things that make them happy, and so are you. And you may not realize it, but at the end of the day, all you want to do is just live life and have fun and do things that make you happy. And that's 90% of the people in this country. You're gonna have 10% that literally just rage at it and cry and moan at everything because they're miserable and they want everybody around them to be miserable. Listen, if you're the kind of person that wants everybody around you to be miserable, you don't need to make them miserable. You need to go get some help. That's just the simple fact of life.
Stop it. Get some help.
Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, don't forget to like, share this with your friends. If you have somebody that's depressed, send this to them. Maybe it'll help them. Maybe it'll make their day. If you're the depressed friend that's watching this, I hope you know that your friend loves and cares for you and cherishes your life and your humanity. And so do I. Even if I've never met you, so do I. I hope you guys all have a blessed, great, amazing day, and God bless. Have fun. The next video will be a lot more depressing than this one, but it's okay, because in the end, we win.